it from the podium because I haven't been able to do it in all the
Well,
years I've been there.
you're gonna put these numbers up on your website.
Yeah, we can put them up.
Well, I think I want to. What is the website?
We have Ted Noftall for mayor.
All right.
That's a Facebook page, and tednoftall.com.
All right, tednoftall.com is where. Oh, they'll be on both?
Yeah, we can put them up on both, absolutely.
I'm not much on Facebook. I don't know too much about that. All right, so there's two sets of numbers. Then we looked at the solid waste where they had expenses of $67.5 million and just short of $70 million in. So they made $3,283,000. 328. That's pretty modest. See, so all of a sudden, I'm wondering why. The trash trucks are private, right?
Yes.
So that $3 million or 328,000 per year, I think that's a modest profit.
Yeah, it looks like they're 10% over, basically.
Yeah,
on
and
solid
they
waste.
got to have somebody watch the trash trucks, right? Somebody who supervises it, right?
Yeah, well, there's got to be someone in works that answers
Yeah.
Well, John,
then,
your big difference here is the solid waste is a contract.
Yeah.
So they are receiving a bid for a contract. They know what the expenses are going to be. So it's going to be hard to charge the people a lot more than what the contract is actually worth.
Yeah, it's more transparent, right?
Yes.
All right, well, that's a good point. So now we go to the godforsaken golf course, which it lost money 3 years out of 10, but it still made $250,000 or $25,000 a year. That's another modest number, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know whether it should make money or not.
Well, John, let's also point out that most cities strive for a 10% reserve fund for emergencies. A lot of cities struggle with that. Some only have 5%, 4%. I've heard, and I'm not sure what the number is, but I heard Port Orange has a 50% reserve.
Yeah, I think Ted.
That is
did we talk about that?
unbelievable.
Yeah, yes, Port Orange has very high reserve balances, very high.
Well, this is one for you to work on. So Mike found this number in the CAFR, which starts at 2005, and it says 168 million. And he ends with a ending net position, but is that ending fund balance, Mike? It's what normally called a fund balance.
Yes, at the ending net position, if you notice, it goes up around 16, 17 million per year, and that's basically what the city makes in profit each year off of all of overall income after expenses, and
All
that
right, so
includes.
you're showing $346.5 million.
Yes, and this doesn't just cover the enterprise funds, the golf course, and the solid waste. This includes the expenses of City Hall, the police department,
Right.
all the others. So
All
this
the ones
is
that
what,
don't make money.
correct.
So that's a lot of money. Ted, do you think it's possible they got that kind of money laying around?
No, I don't. That's not a cash position. That would just be the net position of the city.
Well,
All
I don't know
assets.
what that means.
Well, it means
I only
it's-
know about cash.
Yeah, well, it's not all cash.
Can you check on that?
Yeah.
Don't you think it'd be important to know if they're sandbagging us for that much money?
Well, yeah, and what Mike was saying, he gave the year-over-year increases in net position. But if we just take fiscal 14, the increase in net position was $12.8 million. 3.5 of that came from government operation, the excess of taxes over and above police, fire, general government. $3.5 million contributed to that $12.8 million. $9.3 million of it came from their enterprise funds, came from water and sewer, solid waste, and stormwater management. So those funds are very profitable. The notion that we need to increase fees for Port Orange residents is not borne out by these numbers.
Well, I think your first ad should say, "Are you tired of being ripped off?"
Yep, that's
or
right.
gouged or
Yep.
something.
Fact of the matter
Mike,
is,
am I close? Mike number 2. Are we close? What do you think, Mike? You're a taxpayer.
I think a lot of money is made in these enterprise funds, and where it goes is something that's really not clear. I mean, you say the golf course has only lost money three out of the last 10 years.
Right.
But the golf course, by the same token, does not pay their bills. They owe money to the water and sewer fund, which they don't pay back. So that makes them look good on paper.
Yeah. Well, according to the CAFR, that's probably included in this deal. So I would say that's when they lost money. That's when they borrowed money. Maybe. I don't know. We got to go look into it more. I know one thing. I'd make a date with Tracy Ream to understand these numbers just a little bit better. I'll bet you she knows where they come from.
Yeah, looking at the numbers, it looks like you could probably drop your enterprise fund rates by 3 to 4% and still make a profit.
Yeah. Well, so the question is, Ted, does the city of Port Orange, is it their mission to make that much money off of water and sewer and stormwater and all that stuff? Right?
It should not be their mission. As was stated earlier, a city, rightly so, should have a certain reserve balance. But Port Orange has gone way beyond those reserves.
Yeah, looks like they have.
And with stormwater at a 34 million over 10 years and a 3.5 million average, you wouldn't expect any flooding problems.
Yeah, and you got flooding problems still, right, Ted?
Well, and we've asked for an accounting. Where has all of this money gone?
Okay.
It's never been forthcoming.
Right.
Now, I guess I can ask for it till I go blue in the face from the
Well,
podium.
you can't ask too broad of a question. You know what I mean? You got to really narrow it down. You know?
Well, give us a thumbnail. Where did the money go on stormwater? Because as
Well,
Mike
I'm
points
sure
out,
it went for salaries.
a goodly portion of it went for
Right,
salaries. But
right.
then were the salaries of those people,
Yeah.
were they employed in stormwater betterment?
Right.
Or were they employed cutting grass?
Right.
Yeah.
How many employees are in your stormwater? Do you know?
I don't know offhand.
Well, that'd be a place.
That'd be
go
the first
check
place
that.
I'd look, see
Yeah.
how many employees there are, and
Yeah, what's the
figure out
wages of the
25,000.
stormwater department?
Yeah, let's go with a nice high number, $30,000 per employee, and see how much that matches to the numbers.
Yeah, I don't think 30 is enough, though.
Well, you got your low end. I mean, first off, they're not going to be that many employees. You're not going to have that many supervisors. So most of the people are going to be workers. I'd say a larger percentage of them would be under 30,000.
Well, if you're right, then how did they spend in 2014? They spent $2 million.
I understand.
Okay. Let me push a button.
WELE,
Whoa.
Ormond Beach, 1380, The Cat.
All right, we're talking to Ted Noftall, Mayor Pro Tem, City of Port Orange, and Mike, who's involved with Ted somewhat, and our Mike, who is the principal investigator for govstuff.org. So, at any rate, and if these numbers aren't on govstuff.org, they will be shortly. Okay, Ted, what else do you want to, let's see, what else did I write down? Anything?
Well,
No,
Mike,
that's about it.
Big tomorrow night, council is going to make a big decision on these back charges.
Yeah.
I hope they eliminate them.
Yeah.
These were charges for city
Well, you're going
years.
to come equipped with the numbers, right?
Absolutely. 22 good souls in this city were back charged for city errors.
Yeah.
And the laugh of it is the total money raised was $1,700. They spent more than $1,700 simply documenting the $1,700.
Right.
So poor business acumen judgment on that one entirely, and I hope council reverses that policy out tomorrow night.
Yeah. Are you allowed to speak at a workshop?
Yes.
Oh, good. That's one good thing.
Yeah, Port Orange does justice to the First Amendment on that issue.
Not
entirely,
for faith.
not
They
all
do-
the time,
right.
not with faith, but by and large, they do take public comment.
Uh-huh. Well, good. That's very good because they messed up one time big.
Yes, they did.
Hold on one second. I'm going to take a phone call. Then we probably want to do a little recap. Hi, you're in the big house.
Hi, Big. This is Bob.
Hi, Bob.
Before your guest takes off, I got a question. What is his stand? I understand he's running for the city council. Is that correct?
Yes.
Right. What is his stand or understanding about the homeless problem and helping Volusia County and Daytona Beach out?